Welcome back to Sunday Brunch with Ben and Ned, and I'm Dr. Hart.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I stepped on your intro.
Oh man, right on my toe.
That's awesome. Dr. Hart.
Yes.
Dr. Hart, Marty to his friends.
Exactly.
At Dr. Hart Chiropractic.com.
.wordpress. Yes.
And Hart Chiropractic on Facebook.
Yes, exactly.
That's it. Find him there. Good man. We were talking a little bit in the first part of the show, Marty, about the way the body renews itself every 7 years. You know, cells are continually being born and dying, and that brings up a really interesting point. Is what is the body? What are we exactly? If every single piece is not constant, if there's no one cell that is me that's always there through the whole 70 years of my life, if it's all in transition, in flow, then what are we?
There you go again. I'm not even the man I was an instant ago.
That's it.
Wow.
Very changing every moment.
And you talked about the morphogenetic field, you know.
Sure.
But we could talk about the soul. It's all very interesting.
Yeah, it's very hard to grasp completely. I think even when, between the monks and the priests and the scientists on one side, neither of them have a full grasp of it all. But I think when you come down to it, we're really, aware of an idea. I think that's kind of what we are. We're aware of an idea. And so our awareness penetrates through the idea that creates the body. And I'm not saying that with 100% certainty, but that's kind of the working definition.
I was hoping you had it.
Had it all? I thought I did, and I dropped it on the way in.
Capital A.
Then have fun.
I guess we'll have to do another show next week.
Keep going.
And that idea, or those ideas,
Mm-hmm.
are continuously perpetuating and creating that
Exactly.
body and all that is manifested.
They do. As the Tibetan Buddhists put it, we have the envelopes of ourself, and the body becomes one of those envelopes that we lay over ourself.
So it's not like life began at some point in the past. You know,
Right.
like you were born and it's finished. You're done. You were here. That's it. No, it's a constant becoming, a constant creation. And the same way a whirlpool seems to have a shape and a form, and it seems to be a thing that stays put. But that water is in flow. It flows in, it spins around, and then it's gone. And none of those water molecules are constant. None of them actually make up the whirlpool. It's more of just a flow and a dance
Exactly.
that happens.
And that's truly what happens in the body, especially when you get down to the cellular level. It's everything's moving, flowing, changing, exchanging, and it's never the same, which is why it's very easy to begin to create change like Ned's trying to do here. Because once you get that idea in your system, you can begin to work with it and say, okay, I know that now I'm exercising, everything's very flowing much more better. Now that I have the idea that I'm going to eat healthy, my body can begin to expect that and treat it that way. And it's also on a more macro level, the genes begin to express differently. So instead of flipping towards the side that says, I'm going to constantly gain weight, I'm going to constantly slow down and move and have aches and pains, the more you move, the more you begin to have those ideas, they begin to flip the other way. And so not only are you moving, but you're more prone to move, you're more prone to stay fit, more prone to stay lean.
It's easier for motivation. If I think this is my body, I either failed or succeeded in creating the body that I picture, an image that I want. There it is. I'm done. I'm stuck. It's over. Whereas if I do remember, it's fluid. It's a work in progress. Literally, then it's much easier. It's like, well, yeah, I'm getting a little closer to what I'm imagining. Oh yeah, this is one more fat cell being burned up, or that's one more toning of a muscle, or yeah, it's much. As far as motivation, it's easier to think of it as a moving target, as a work in progress.
There's no end point, it's a margin. You can't say, well, once I get to 210, I'm going to stay there forever. That's what I like to be at. I love it. You say, no, I'm healthy. I know that I have to make these changes. My body adapts, and I can move into this margin. There's no end point, which is, it's also, when you get there, you don't have to freak out every time you have a cupcake.
Mental health, emotional health as well. It's not like you've got a sound mind now. Now you've got it. You're finally, you're healthy.
You reached it, yeah.
It's all a work in progress.
And it becomes more about a way of life and how you conduct yourself from day to day and what guides the choices that you make than about achieving some ideal cut physique.
Right. And those things will come. Well, I mean,
Can you get 30-day abs? I was wondering about this. Can anybody just take 30 days?
it really depends on where you're starting. Some people can get 30-day abs.
Some people can. Some might take 45 days.
Right, or, you know, a couple
3.5
years. You never know.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But kind of related to what we're talking about is the idea of fitness, be it exercising, lifting weights, or it could be yoga, could be martial arts. Ned, I know you were a practitioner for many years.
Years ago.
Tai Chi, there's all these different ways that people approach fitness and spirituality
Right.
as one and the same. And to me, there's a real benefit there in that it takes spirituality out of being an intellectual pursuit. It's no longer about what you think or what you believe, which is very insubstantial.
Right.
And it takes it into the territory of, well, how do I stand? How do I move? How do I breathe? How do I be present to this moment? How do I relate to the world? I think that's what is primarily taught in yoga and fitness. Have you practiced yoga or martial arts or any of these kind of disciplines?
I have practiced martial arts. I still continue to practice lots of yoga asanas and different breathing and things like that. I believe, in my mind, when you begin to compartmentalize spirituality and fitness in the body, you create a psycho-spiritual pathology. They have to all be one. Mm-hmm. If you're truly spiritual, you're going to do it in and through the body. Otherwise, you might as well sit in a corner and look at your navel and be done with it.
I think that's what has happened to many of us. I think it's happened to me. I took that phase of my life where I was so fit and so into the exercise, and then kind of discovered more of this spiritual path of, not to say the martial arts was not spiritual, of course it was, but I shifted my spiritual focus more towards Buddhism, finding the equanimity, letting go of goal seeking, goal setting and achieving and accomplishing. Mm-hmm. For me anyway, I found more of, well, it's all good. I don't need to do anything, dude. Let's just experience, and it just kind of happens. So now I'm kind of, like you said, you use some really fancy words there, but like a separation of the body and the mind and all that spiritual in alignment.
Right, exactly.
If you will.
Yeah. You want them all to be connected, and so I think when you can really begin to focus those all together, you're going to have a better outcome. Totally. So there's some research that shows that when you combine Vipassana meditation with weight training, you get better results and on both sides with the spiritual development and the physical development than if you do just weight training and just mark the physical. You still don't get as good. You just do Vipassana and the weight training, it's not as good as spiritual development. When you begin to mix the two, you begin to have better results altogether.
Very cool. And that's where a lot of kind of a recurring theme for the Sunday Brunch show is the balance of equanimity, of just simple kind of mindfulness and letting go, or non-attachment, non-striving, as well as
striving.
Correct. Making things better and achieve. Yes, that balance. Excellent.
It's the sign. That's the paradox of existence, and is that you have to learn to go in two directions at once and encompass things that seem to be opposite, and make room in yourself for the monk that is in a dark cave, fasting and praying and wasting away to nothing, and also the man of the world who is active and busy and making things happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the challenge of modern day, is to encompass those two and bring the realizations of the monks and priests and Zen masters into the world, and bring them into our activities in so many ways.
We are here for us. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. Let us remember to have the human experience.
Indeed.
I think there's life being the game that it is. It's no fun just to sit on the sideline and say, I know it's a game, I'm out. Because you still in this embodiment have 60 to 90 years to play with it. You might as well play with it, but just know it's a game.
Nice.
Don't be a quitter.
Right. To bring it back to success strategies, don't be a quitter, right?
Be a quitter. Quitters never win. quibble. Is that, no, that's different. But it's-
So deep.
That's how I describe it. It was deep.
Well, good stuff. Yeah. Any things you have coming up? Well, you speak at church at the Unity of Independence from time to time?
Right, every once in a while I'll do a talk at Unity of Independence, and towards the end of September, I'll have a hard date pretty soon. I'm going to give a talk on resurrecting the body, how the body recreates itself.
Nice, nice.
And you'll find that promoted on Hart Chiropractic on Facebook. And Hart Chiropractic is a friend of the show, so you can even find his page from our page.
On Facebook.
We'll make sure.
Some people have come to this through YouTube or through various ways. You might not know we have a Facebook
We do
page,
have a
Sunday
Facebook
Brunch.
page, Sunday Brunch with Ben and Ned. I think we're the only Sunday Brunch with Ben and Ned out there, so if you type that in word for word, you're bound to find us.
There you go.
Well, winding this down,
Let's recap. What have you learned today, Ned?
we always start with me. I have learned if you are going to participate in this world, you need to be able to walk in two directions at once, striving and not striving. And when you do that, when you go in like that, taking those strides, you're probably going to need a chiropractor for an adjustment.
Keep you balanced out.
It's striving to not strive.
Striving to not, or not even trying to
strive. Exactly.
Who wants to
Wrap your minds around that, folks. Marty, do you have any takeaway from the show today?
I think my takeaway is just to continue to be the detached effort, just the effortless effort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Surrendering the results to the one who shall remain nameless, like it or not. Is there somebody else here? Oh, I think you know.
What did you learn on the show today?
What did I learn on the show today? I learned quite a bit about the difference between chiropractic and chiropractic kinesiology. That's a tough word for
It
me
is.
for some reason.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with this pill, I'm sure. And that a gentler approach is perhaps superior, like Lao Tzu says, in the Tao. Be like water. Water is the softest, and yet it overcomes the stone.
We'll drink to that.
As will I.
Sure.
So thank you for a great show, guys.
Yes.
Thanks for
Cheers.
being on the show, Marty.
Thank you very much.
And thank you
Hart.
out there for watching.
Dr. Hart Chiropractic, HART.
.wordpress.com.
Right. Hart Chiropractic on Facebook. Thank you very much.
This has been a great show. Until next time,
Peace!